Greetings, everybody. Thank you for taking the time today to join us for another tech tool video that we have. We're going to continue our conversation that we've had with the Webex Admin portal. We've done a few other ones about changing meeting types, site settings, and so the one we're going to focus on today then is looking at running reports and also looking at bulk manage, so you're not having to individually click on each user to change the settings that you want to. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into our environment we have here. And so we'll start off here with just a quick overview about the Webex Control Hub, the overview page that we kind of went over through before, but what we're going to focus on today is going to be administering our users and how we would do bulk changes if we wanted to make any of those changes to a certain user. So we're going to pull this up. What we're going to scroll down here is I am in a demo environment, so there's a lot of other stuff in here you might not see in yours. Well, let me click on one of my users that is down here, and we'll bring up our, like I said, this one we're just focusing on meetings. And we'll bring up the settings that are applied to our user here. This is where we can individually change the meeting settings that for what means they can host. If we wanted to change any of the event centers, we can also change the user settings for some of these. That if you want to change callback, personal meetings, these are where we can change those inside that spot. Heading back inside here, we can then also change the advanced user settings, and this is the one we're going to use for our testing today. It's just kind of showing how you can do a bulk change. What we notice here is by default, enable live streaming is disabled for all users. For our organization that we're pretending here is that this needs to be enabled for all users. So how do I do a bulk change for something like that? We'll exit out. We need to go back to our meeting site. And you'll notice here on the side is a bulk manage button that pops up. Inside here, we can either export, which is what we would use to ensure we can get all our users to get updated. When we're done, you can use the import portion here, but here we would hit export. I went ahead and did this beforehand because it does take a long time to generate the report to have it. You would just click on export results to bring up your Excel spreadsheet. And this is why you'll get a spreadsheet of all the users and the values that they have for those type of meetings. And as mentioned, we only care about live streaming, so this is where we would change this to 1. You can drag that all the way down, change it for everybody, save it. And when we're ready to upload that file again, we would just then click bulk manage. And this time we would just drag and drop that Excel spreadsheet inside of here. It will import those settings, and then all users now will have the live streaming availability. And I did it for all my users without having to click on every single one of them. The other option I wanted to bring up today was then to discuss reports. And the one report that when this comes up, you're going to get to the classic view where there's all different types of reports that we'll run, and we can try and do a few different videos for those. But the one we're going to work on today is just the meeting usage. And this comes in handy to where, let's say you had a phone call or a ticket that came in saying that you had a bad meeting experience and you wanted to investigate what happened here. You would type in the day maybe that meeting happened if they didn't have the meeting number. I already have a few reports down here that I'm going to click to generate this, but it will pull up all the meetings that occurred during this time frame that's listed here. And then we can, knowing what we would discuss with that user, find out who it was. You can then grab one of the session numbers here, and I'm just going to grab this one. We'll copy that. We head back over to our meetings. We're going to go to troubleshooting. And then inside here, we can type in the session number. And then this will pull up all the meeting numbers we have for those. You would tie that into which one that they mentioned. And so we're going to click on this one, and then brings up the tools to kind of see what was happening in this environment. We can look at the users that associated, the times that they were there, and then some of the other settings that were part of that meeting. So a good way to, if you ever have a problem that comes in with checking to see the quality of those meetings, of finding those meetings too, where if you didn't know what the session numbers were or the user, so that would, and then you can export that record to have on if you need to pull it back up again later. So hopefully you were able to learn a little bit more about how we can bulk manage users, start looking at some troubleshooting reports for those that might be having issues on their meetings. And thank you again for your time, and I look forward to the next tech tip. Thank you. Have a great day.